$5 from Irvi. An SGDQ haiku. Metal Gear Solid. Sneak around and save the world. Keep Meryl alive. It looks like we might be doing that. And we are actually ready for Metal Gear Solid Any Percent Extreme by Plywood. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Cartridge. Hi, everybody. I'm Plywood, and I will be running Metal Gear Solid Any Percent Extreme on console. Joined with me is the current world record holder for this category, DLimes13. How are you doing, DLimes?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm excited for this run. I was not expecting this run, but I am excited to do it nonetheless. So we will be running on extreme difficulty, not with alternate round. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, dude.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, if you are not familiar with this game, this is a PlayStation Classic. It's also on the PlayStation Classic, but let's not talk about that thing, shall we? But this is not the original release of this game. This is the integral release, which adds some new features to the game. Basically, the original Japanese release of this game did not have difficulty selection and some other features, so they re-released this game in 1999, gave it the VR missions pack, and gave you those extra difficulties along with some other stuff. So there's that, but the reason why we run this version is because we save 2 minutes, over 2 minutes on a cutscene later on near the end of the game, which was unskippable in other versions of this game. So that's why we're running on Integral. And we're running on the PlayStation TV because that is the fastest platform to run this game on console. There's only one issue with the PlayStation TV, and that is input lag. Because sometimes the PS TV can drop inputs, and that can be pretty frustrating because there are a few points in this run where dropping an input kind of dicey, but we got to go fast. So that's the deal.
Yep, indeed we do. So I know how the dropped inputs are in this game. I've run this game quite a bit, so it can be annoying, especially towards end game. But we're basically just in an auto scroller sequence right now. We're just waiting for the elevator to come down so we can get up to the surface. Plywood just did a knock on the forklift to throw the guard's pattern off. That way he can just kind of chill and not get spotted. And then we'll get on the elevator here shortly and get up to the surface.
That's right. In fact, recently there's been a development in the docks, which is something very strange to say. It's actually better to farm alerts in the docks. We won't be doing that here because we're trying to get the big boss rank, which requires stealth. But we learned recently through DLimes that farming alerts and avoiding the rat RNG later is actually faster. But of course, to be a big boss, we got to be sneaky, and to be sneaky, we got to take out that rat. So we will be doing that instead. Just distract that guard. None the wiser. None the wiser.
So you'll notice throughout that we're going to be skipping a lot of cutscenes and a lot of codecs. The cutscenes, we can just hold X, very simple. But the codecs, we have to mash and do more mashing. So a lot of mashing involved. But we're going to be skipping them all. This is a speed run, obviously.
Yep. For the console run, unlike the PC run, we have to develop good mashing technique. Because on the PC version, you can just skip these codecs entirely, which is very nice.
So the helipad sequence here, Plywood is going to intentionally get spotted and pick up the chaff grenades. With the game, you want to run with a weapon equipped. It makes you run faster. And also a thing that Plywood did there.
Just die. I went a little bit too off.
Yeah, it's
womp,
two
womp.
hits to die on extreme. That line is very tough on extreme. So, but what I was trying to say is, if you notice, he didn't have to menu to the chaff grenade. He just tapped R1 to have it quick equipped. If you die,
Stop shooting me.
Let you do this.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go. First try.
First try. First try.
But if you die and then go and say you die with like the chaff grenade in your hands and then an item in your hands. If you die and then go pick up those items again right away, you can just tap R1 or L1 to quick equip them because they're in your memory. So we set up what's called a RAM manip. So for any percent, we set up the chaff and then the catch-up to be their items when we die. And then when we go to equip those for the first time, instead of actually menuing to them, we can just tap L1 and R1. So minor optimization, but for any percent, we need all the optimizations we can get.
That's correct. Any percent is by far the most optimized category in this game. There's two main categories, any percent and all bosses. And any percent will be skipping many bosses. Not all, but many. As we come into the tank hangar here, we are going to knock on the tank to distract a guard going towards the elevator.
Yeah, there is a slightly more difficult strategy you can do here by throwing a chaff grenade in a particular spot to lure the guards away, but it's a little finicky on extreme, a little risky in marathons, so knock on the tank for the win.
That's right. And now for the major skip of this run, the event skip straight to torture. Now you'd say, oh, you're supposed to use the ladder, but not so much. I think what I'd really want to do is get captured. I think that's the optimal thing. But where am I? Where am I, chat? Where am I exactly?
There we go. We did.
Oh.
So what plywood
Excellent.
did there is he went into the vent about halfway, went into first person and looked up, and then let go of both of those buttons while getting up. It put him out of bounds. And then we just go around the edge of the room, get behind the torture door, and voila, we just skipped about 30 minutes of the game. So no cell fight, guard rush, no ocelot, M1 tank, ninja, mantis, or the first sniper wolf fight. That's all kaput, gone. See you later. Have a nice day.
That's right. And now I'm going to be hiding under the bed because when Johnny comes back, if you don't do this, he'll take a short nap and talk a little bit, and we don't want to deal with that. Speaking of which, when I'm done with this codec call, I'd like to hear what the results are for the bid war for the ending. So if you got one last donation, y'all better bring in hot right now. Will we be mashing a bunch, or will we be saving a few minutes?
You, sir, are mashing. You're going to resist the torture and save Meryl.
All right, folks, you earned it with your donations. Thank you very much for your generosity. This is going to be interesting because unlike how it normally would be, where you'd have a lot more HP here, we have the base HP. So you need to be on your MASH game, certainly. However, if you've never played the Japanese versions, they actually all have the same rounds of torture. You know, so like on the English version, or like the North American version, excuse me, or the PAL version, depending on the difficulty, you might have to go through more rounds of torture. But here it's just a static 3, which is really nice because it's a little dicey when you only have this amount of health.
It's showtime.
It's showtime. So,
Yeah, I was going to say, all the other versions, you got to go through 6 rounds of torture. So,
yeah, not fun. But what I want to mention here is if you're trying to do this on your own, the really key thing is pacing yourself out and using that audio cue of that bing. That's when you want to start mashing. And remember that you can regain your HP right after it's done with the timer. So all very key. Pacing yourself, very, very important. Don't use up all your strength right at the start, especially in a speed run, because we won't really have many breaks to speak of. We're not going to pause and walk away to rest. And remember, if you die, that's game over. There are no continues, my friends.
We're not finished yet.
We're not finished.
don't even think about using auto fire, or I'll know.
He'll know. D-Lives will know, and he'll be like, look, I know I took all the records, but, you know, maybe I'll take second place as well. All right, that's session 1 of the torture. We have one more
match.
session to go. Thank you very much. And we have another round of Johnny sneezing. Oh, one thing to mention, you might be noticing that I'm making Johnny say, "Shut up!" That's intentional because it's faster for Johnny to yell at us than for him to sneeze. I'm just doing him a favor, really, because who wants to sneeze constantly? It's not fun. I've been there. I've been there, Johnny.
It's terrible.
Well, if there's... It really is. So this is a great time for donations since we have a few minutes to kill.
Absolutely. We've got quite a few of them coming in. $25 from Triumphant Bass. Summer Games. Done quick. Metal Gear. I have a haiku for you. $10 from Maddie Horror. All this talk of games and Doctors Without Borders. What of Wario? And a limerick for you from Ease Out, who donates $100.
Poetry.
There once was a scientist, Hal, who crushed on this sniper wolf gal. Then Snake spelled her doom. Do you think love can bloom? No time for that. Insert the POW.
Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. If you folks have more poetry, I am excited for it because we got some time for donations later on the run, let me tell you. Oh, it's showtime. I have my date with the circle button. But first, he's got to tell us one more time.
Okay, I'll tell you once more.
Nah,
Press.
I don't need to hear it. I know. Let's go. I'm ready. He's fine. Don't worry about it. If you got another donation, feel free to show it up.
Like that.
I've got a $1,000 anonymous donation who gives us this haiku. Had to donate now. Metal Gear Solid. Let's go, GDQ.
Thank you so much for that big donation.
Had enough yet?
I've also got $250 from Precious Roy, who says, Yo, Plywood, everybody here is hyped for Metal Gear Solid at GDQ. And what better incentive for this run than, wait, who's Meryl? I don't think we've ever seen her before. You better save her just to be sure.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. I mean, we kind of just ended up in a prison cell. So, but, you know, I'm feeling a little bit generous today, so we'll help this Meryl person. And she's saved, I think. Yes, she's saved. But the true torture is doing this codec right after torture. This is actually the third session of torture because this is a fairly lengthy codec that I have to mash through. So, you know, normally when you play this game, you'd be like, ooh, I get some dialogue. She gives me a massage, which, fun fact, I have vibration off, and that actually does save you time if you save Meryl, because then you don't get the vibration massage from Naomi. So, fun fact, if you ever want to run this with save Meryl ending, make sure to have vibration off. Oh, poor Johnny. I'll be honest with you. I know that feeling. I've been having some stomach pains today, so I'm right there with you, Johnny. Maybe not, well, what's going to happen to you soon, but...
Yeah, so we're going to wait for our release from the torture cell. We're going to have a random dude come and give us some items. I don't recall ever meeting this dude ever, so...
Hey, we need him, because if he doesn't bring this stuff, we actually can't get out. He has our level 6 card, which is very useful to have the level 6 card, 10 minutes into the run or so.
He's coming back. See you later.
All right, see you, guy.
Wait.
So, right here, I'm going to position myself. Use that Raminip that D-Limes was mentioning earlier. Use the ketchup. And equip the card. and he will be none the wiser. He didn't see me pour the ketchup all over the floor. Everyone, shh, be quiet. We're gonna prank him. This is a very lethal prank, though. Drop an F for Johnny.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. So I know people like canon. Well, this run is now not canon because we saved Meryl, but not Johnny. All right, so we're done with that, but we have one other errand we need to do before we move on, and we need to go pick up the PSG-1 rifle, and that's in the B2 armory. And I'll let D-Limes take it away.
So the armories can be a little tricky at times. We have to grab the sniper rifle, deal with a couple of guards. So Plywood will throw a guard here, get around this guard coming up, crawl under some lasers, grab the PSG-1, which we grabbed, but it says it's full. There's a reason for that.
I'm full of it right now. I'm full of the rifle.
Let this guard pass, and then we'll just hop back onto the elevator.
Very nice. There is a faster strat, but it's very strict, not super marathon safe. So, but the other strat, you run around and you get through the lasers super quick, but that strat is very consistent. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, the guards on Extreme have eagle eye vision, and that's very hard to pull off on Extreme.
Yep. And now we're gonna fight the tank. Everyone, please enjoy my skillful tank fight right here. Trust me, I'm an expert. Despite what you may think from the helipad, I am an expert.
Looks good so far. Yep.
Looking good. Picking up
Yep.
both packs of grenades for marathon safety. Boom.
That's the tank. Good job. Yep.
Thank you. Feeling real good about that one.
So nuke building here, you kind of got to be careful. This room has gas that's released if you end up getting spotted. A couple guards to deal with, so we're going to answer a codec call here and take a particular line up to the left stairs. And if we time it right, we'll get up to the stairs when the guard's just turning around. We'll throw him, and then we'll just dash to the elevator.
That's right. I do this whole line on D-pad just to make things predictable. Depending on the room, I'll use a combination of D-pad and analog. Only D-pad or only analog. The 360-degree movements of the analog, very useful, especially if you want subtle lines. Because holding 45-degree angles, unlike in, like, say, Doom or GoldenEye, it's actually quite slow. You don't want to be holding those kinds of angles in this game. So if you were to run this on D-pad, such as on PC, you would quickly wiggle into the direction you want to go to save time that way. So we went in the office, picked up some supplies. We're going to need Nikita for later, and definitely going to need some stun grenades because we got some guards to knock out. By the way, books. Get educated.
It's a hard boss, too. All right, we did it.
I think I got educated right there.
Yeah. Yep. No, good books. Very good books.
How to skip bosses. Okay, and we're gonna do a vent glitch again, and I'm gonna throw away this bomb. I don't want that. And equip the scarf, because now the dogs love us. It's wonderful. Now, you might be noticing that there's no floor texture here. That's a side effect of doing the vent glitch there. So that's why it was just blacked out.
Yeah,
All
the scarf is from Sniper Wolf. It smells of her. That's why the wolves react the way that they do. They think it's her, so.
Yep, very nice. You can't avoid using the scarf there. The dog's patterns aren't set. And if they catch you, you can do a single punch. But we're all about love. I mean, we saved Meryl. Let's save the dogs from the pain.
Yep.
Let's be kind.
Be kind and rewind. Oh, this isn't 1998. Whoops.
Oh, man. I would love to put a VHS tape together, mixing up all these old games, having speedruns on tape, the classic stuff. Anyways, we are now in the towers, and this is arguably the hardest part of this whole run, so don't expect me to talk too much during this area. We're going to prime a grenade here, throw it through the door. And the chase is on. I'll let D-Limes take it from here.
So this is the ascension or the tower climb. We're going to be dealing with a bunch of guards going up about 20 some odd floors. We're going to be quick throwing guards at certain floors and throwing stun grenades at certain floors. You'll notice that plywood's going to be hugging the rail at certain times and hugging the wall at certain times. That's all intentional to try to avoid getting shot. With our health right now, it is 2 shots to death, so we can afford to take 1 hit. So he's going to throw a stun grenade at the door to start with. It'll stun these guards. I'll throw another stun grenade here at this wall. You'll notice that he does a quick throw mechanic. So if you go and unequip, go and throw the guard. If you re-equip immediately, it cancels the rest of the throwing animation. Very, very useful for this section. And you saw it a couple times already. Another quick throw there. So about another 4 flights or so, he'll throw another stun grenade. And then that should stun the guards behind him, and then 1 in front of him. He may not
Where's
have
this
spawned.
guy?
Oh, he spawned
There he
right
is.
there. Yep, late spawn, so that can happen. But all in all, didn't take damage, so a pretty good climb.
Yeah, this is one of the scariest moments in the run. Again, if you were doing all bosses on Extreme, you'd have a lot more health to work with here. That is not the case here, so it gets a little bit sketchy, but we got through it. Of course, we go from one amount of sketch to a new amount of sketch, which is the repel sequence.
So the nice thing about repel is we do get a health refill here. So even if we got shot during the stair climb, we'll get all our health back for this sequence. So plywood is going to go for a damageless repel, or kind of nicknamed a scissor cut variant. We're going to do the repel in a particular sequence where we try to avoid the helicopter hitting us and getting steam damage, because we need all that health for later for some glitches we're going to be doing.
Now, we want to have as much health as we possibly can out of this sequence, because we do not get a health refill until the very end of the run.
So very important that you answer that call right then and there. And then plywood's going to do some particular movements to try to avoid getting damage.
Got to delay that jump. Very important, so you can get a jump with momentum. And boom, there's the haircut.
There's the haircut.
Oh, it got a steam damage. That's okay. 1 steam damage really isn't that bad. The bullets do 2 steam damage, so that's the comparison there. And now another hard part.
Yeah, the walkway can be very punishing. If you get shot by these guards at all, it can not only can do more damage, it can really knock you back far, and it's pretty much a continue at this point. Plywood's opting for the 2 stun variant, which is a pretty safe variant. Ooh,
Oh,
little
get out of my
unfortunate there.
face. Ugh. Okay.
But didn't take much damage, so that's okay.
Yeah, a punch, when they hit you with the butt of their gun, and it doesn't do that much damage, but I don't want to hang around there for too long if you catch my drift.
Right.
And now you might be wondering, well, how the heck am I going to actually fight the Hind, right? I'm not. Forget about the Hind. We're just a big don't on that one. Instead, we're going to do something called the weapon glitch. And that is going to start a sequence to skip this whole thing.
So the weapons glitch, you basically have to inflict damage on yourself. You'll receive damage. You'll press L1 to unequip your card, go into first person, and then just mash a bunch of buttons. If you do it right, you'll equip the stinger, and you just get to run with the stinger. So, cool game.
Yep.
And then
So with this weapon glitch, I have now put one weapon for another. And by cooking this chaff/stinger thing, I'm going to delete my stinger, which is very key to skip the Hind. Otherwise, you would not be able to do what I'm about to do. That looked kind of weird, like I took a wide turn, and that's because there are invisible boxes there. Also, that turret was out for my lunch, but I kept it.
Yeah, so he's gonna make his way up to the Hind, quote unquote. So we have to go up to the top, and then we're gonna fight the Hind, right? Right? No stinger.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
just bare knuckle
Definitely gonna
fist?
fight
Yep.
the hind.
Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna fight the hind with my bare hands, as Liquid would put it.
That's right. Yeah, very important that you don't take damage here by these turrets, so chaff grenades are definitely critical.
Yeah, turrets do a sizable amount of damage on extreme. It is very punishing to get hit by them. I can survive some hits, but the reality is we want to maintain as much HP as possible going into the end game, just so I can have some safety, have some room to work with, so we don't have any unintentional deaths.
And if you blinked, that was the hind fight. So we're done with that. So basically, we have to go up and down to trigger the boxes to return that plywood kind of avoided, those invisible boxes. And we're going to be using that to fall a few floors. So plywood's going to use regular grenades here instead to conserve on chaff grenades to blow up these turrets and avoid damage.
There's multiple ways to blow up these turrets. It's just in the timing, whatever timing works for you. I use the screen transition as my visual cue, and then I'm just holding down left this whole time. Makes it very consistent visually on the D-pad. And boom, they're all gone. Okay, let's try this again.
So what plywood's trying to do is he's trying to get on top of these boxes, but it's somewhat of frame dependent. And then we just fall a bunch of stories, and we skip the hind fully, and then we also skip the 4 horseman elevator fight. So that skips that entire sequence.
Did we mention there's no fall damage in Metal Gear Solid? There's no
That is
fall
true.
damage in this game.
That's true.
So you just fall very fast to the bottom, and Snake's just like, I'm good. I'm good. But, oh, Wolf 2, the legendary sniper. She can stand still for days, even weeks. She's no joke. But she wasn't prepared for the weapon glitch, unfortunately.
So very similar to the first weapons glitch we did, we're going to use an invisible barrier that gives us damage to accomplish the same thing. We just go past the barrier with the PSG-1, and we skip the fight.
And she was so impressed, she decided to leave Shadow Moses Island, so... And that's the wolf fight.
One little thing that you may have noticed is plywood's pausing on occasion. If you hold X too long, depending on where you're at, you can accidentally crouch, go prone, do other things. He's just pausing there because it does stop the IGT when you do pause, and it prevents him from doing inadvertent actions.
Yeah, it's not super important there. I just don't want to accidentally hold X for too long and go prone, because that's a bit lame. It'll be very important, though. The next time I do that, it'll be extremely important just to make sure that I am keeping myself in check with my movement. And this is actually a really good time for a donation, because we're just going back to pick up the stinger we lost.
Absolutely. Earlier we had a $1,000 anonymous donation that chat kind of jumped on because the haiku was not actually 575. So we've got a $500 follow-up from Oops, That Wasn't a Proper Haiku, who says, "Chat, you are correct. I cannot count to 7. My shame knows no bounds."
Now, I know it's the internet, but I do believe that you can have haikus with different sets of syllables. That's just the standard haiku. But
Right.
But don't jump down my throat. Just look it up, folks. Look it up. Right there, by the way, I stored a chaff grenade. I threw a chaff grenade before I interacted with the elevator panel, and that stopped the chaff from exploding, and it explodes perfectly in time for me to exit safely. So pretty nice.
So now we're coming up at the end of disc 1. Plywood will throw one more chaff to avoid some turrets, and we will change our CD-ROM, right?
Yes, our I got a... Oh, no, not that CD-ROM. Oh, we're on a digital platform. That's right. But, you know, there's the discs. So that's disc 1. That's most of the run, but first room of Disc 2 is a bit of a doozy.
This room is no joke. So Plywood's going to throw a stun grenade right here. He's going to snipe one guard, take him out before the stun grenade goes off. He's going to use the Nikita missile launcher to take out this crane. That way we can shimmy across this little ledge. All that without getting an alert.
Yeah, so stun grenades are extremely overpowered in this game. If you throw a stun grenade behind a closed door, everyone behind the door will still get stunned and no alert will happen, which we exploit here to great effect. I'm going to hide from that guard. I know I've already lost Big Boss, but let's try to avoid the alerts too. Let's still try to be a sneaky boy. Right here, I'm actually going to take a small little detour here to pick up these stuns. And the reason why I left this room immediately is because the elevator takes a really long time to come up. So if you exit, re-enter, it comes quickly. And now for the infamous cargo elevator fight.
Cargo fight, you have 3 guards you got to deal with. You really want to avoid taking damage. And Plywood's going to use a stun grenade variant to throw one guard off, throw a second guard off while he's being stunned, and a third while he's just about on the floor, and that looks really, really cool.
Scooping
Very
him
well
up.
executed.
Yeah. Picking up the stuns does lose time, but hey, who doesn't like watching a guy scoop a guard up from the floor and tossing him with basically no animation? Metal Gear Solid. So right there, I'm just waiting for the camera to move to a certain point while it turns. Once it's vertical, or like matching like the door, basically, that opening, then I know I'm safe to go. Because since we don't want to be too careless with our HP, and the position of the turrets is not set, so you can run for it, but you might get shot. I'd rather not get shot.
While we're riding on this elevator, you could squeeze in a donation or two.
Sure, we've got $50 from Hope and Caleb. Hi SGDQ, Hope and Caleb here. We've saved our allowance again and we're so excited to pitch in for a great cause in 2020. Metal Gear Solid was the first big game we played with our dad, so watching this run is a treat. Speaking of dad, if our donation is read on the air, both he and grandpa will match it this year. Keep up the great work.
Nice.
And we've got a $20 anonymous donation who immediately identifies themselves, who says, "Hey Plywood, it's your buddy, No Good. Just wanted to say thanks for teaching me everything I know about Metal Gear speedruns. You're an inspiration. Good luck with the run, and say no to Bad Rat RNG. A strong man doesn't need to read his future. He makes his own."
That's right. All right, here's the first actual boss fight. Kind of.
So the Vulcan Raven fight coming up, we're going to kind of cheese him into a little bit of a loop here. We're just going to fire Nikita missiles at him. On almost every version of the game, if we just fire at him like this, he'll just miss hitting the missiles for whatever reason, and we can just continue to fire our Nikita at him without him blowing up the missile.
Yeah, it's really only the first missile that he can blow up, and then once we get him in this loop, he's kind of stuck, as long as we don't mess up our Nikita timing. But as long as you're mashing square, it's fine. The other nice thing about playing on PSTV is the reduction in lag. So like right here, if you did this part on CD-ROM, it would be very laggy. On PSTV, the lag is reduced quite a bit. So, and because of how we time this game, through the in-game timer, which is basically real time, that saves actually a significant amount of time throughout the run. So Vulcan Raven, he's history, and we now have the final level of the card, and we are officially in endgame here. There's some intrigue going on. We may think one of our allies is a spy. I think Naomi's just mad she didn't wasn't allowed to give that massage earlier, because I turned off vibration.
Yeah, so this room has like 50 billion different turrets in here, so we're just gonna throw a chaff, grab those Stinger missiles for later, and just avoid chaos.
And here is
Now we're in Rex's lair.
Rex itself.
Big boy.
Very big, very big. But don't worry, we know how to handle them just fine. So Otacon's going to be calling us a little bit here. He's doing some hacking. Are you a hacker? Yup, that describes me pretty well, including with this run. One key thing that you will notice coming up is there's a guard on a catwalk. It's the only guard that's defending Rex, oddly enough. But in reality, when it comes to avoiding alerts, he's a little bit tricky. We're going to be using a technique called skating, which we do by quickly unequipping and re-equipping our weapon. That's going to stop Snake's foot from landing on the ground. It's going to kind of look like figure skating. And by doing that, we're going to be moving silently. That means we can approach him in a way not really intended by the game as far as the cycles are concerned. One thing we didn't really mention about Metal Gear speedrunning in general is that it's very cycle dependent. You got to match up with guards at the right time to do the proper strat. So doing this really breaks this cycle. And very key there, when I did that punch kick, I did a kick cancel, which is a technique, mechanic in this game that's not explained in the manual, but cool nonetheless. Whenever you're attacking in this game, except for a couple rooms, which we'll mention later, you can cancel the animation of your attack. And doing that allows us to safely get away from that guard after we PPK him or punch kick.
So now we lost our PAL card, which we need to deactivate Rex. So we need to go down to the drainage ditch and retrieve the PAL card, but a rat has eaten it. So the rat can spawn in a couple of different places. He can spawn immediately in one spot, or we could be waiting quite a bit for the rat to spawn. So a la rat RNG.
Yep, so it can spawn at a variety of times and in a variety of locations. Hopefully it spawns in the best spawn, because the worst RNG loses about a minute. And that's if you're playing well. So here we go. Oh, Snake, don't turn that way. We need to go this way. No? Okay, we don't see anything yet.
Oh, there he is.
Left side. It's a little bit out of the way, but that's okay. Just want to wait for this rat to move a little bit like that. Great. You want to lead your shot a little bit, because the rat, once you fire a bullet or missile, whatever, it's going to start moving. And if you don't lead your shot and you're too far away, there's a pretty high chance that you're going to miss it, and then the rat's going to have to come to a different spot. It's a big hullabaloo. It wastes a lot of time. So it's good that I did not miss that shot. And now we need to go input the PAL cards to deactivate Metal Gear. So in order to do that, we're going to be doing some backtracking. But before we do the backtracking, we have to input the first card, the room temperature card. So the same movement I did last time with this card, I'm going to do it again. So here we go. Boom. Kick cancel to speed up the animation of the recovery. And I'm going to unequip the card here just so I don't accidentally put it in the blue card computer, because that's a thing. Very annoying when that happens too. Because Snake will be like, oh, it's the wrong one. And he'll stand there for like 15 seconds thinking about his mistake. It's a doozy. And we wait right there for that guard to turn. Once again, silencing our footsteps, and we're out. So now we need to freeze the card and then warm the card. Every time we freeze or warm the card, it takes a minute and 1 second, as long as there's not any loads or opening of the menu, to freeze or heat the card. But when we heat the card, it's going to take a little bit longer since we need to pick up some supplies, and that involves some little load transitions. So other than that, this is going to be a great time for donations. So if you have some, let's hear it.
I've got tons. $10 from Daily May. who says 2 MGS runs in 1 GDQ by the legendary Plywood. Way to bring more recognition to the MGSR community. Also, keep Meryl safe, will you, Plywood?
I have to make sure I get out of here in one piece with her on that Jeep escape, but thank you so much, Daily.
$10 from RPD234. Plywood, D-Limes, I have an important question for you. Do you think love can bloom even on a battlefield?
I think at any time, any place, love can blossom.
That's beautiful.
Agreed.
$25 from Ziggy, donating for the MGS run and that glorious Gaelic song over the end credits. $25 from Underwater Smoking. Good luck to Papa Wood, the man who inspired me to start speedrunning.
Stay hydrated.
$500 anonymous donation. Glad to see GDQ continuing on in spite of 2020's best attempts to stop it. Put my donation towards the runner's choice.
Thank you very much.
We've got $250 from Rowan H, dedicating this donation to my awesome friend Kaya. Thank you for showing me great horror movies, explaining the ones I'm not smart enough for, and most importantly, getting me into Metal Gear and Silent Hill. Had to donate during MGS just for you, in hopes that we can Wednesday Friends Day someday soon. I love you.
It's very sweet. Konami games, they bring people together.
We've got a $250 donation from Beelzebulbasaur, who just says, Snake! $200 from Why So Serious. Feeling to love this SGDQ, and as we know, love can bloom, even on a battlefield. And I guess that answers the question.
You got it.
Yep.
$25 from Kakususora. A weapon who surpasses Metal Gear is Plywood. It is always a pleasure to see you run and learn from you. Can't wait to do another 2 people, 1 controller run, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Sora. So that right there is a really cool trick that Limes figured out. We call it the chair trick. And if you unequip your chaff grenade there, you can actually just hold left on D-pad and completely avoid getting spotted by the camera, which would seal you into the room if you get spotted by it, unless you like get out fast enough. Very cool trick because it's stealthy, it's strange looking, and we honestly need every little bit of time save we can get in Disc 2 because for the most part it's just pure movement. So want to voice my appreciation for D-Limes for not only that but the other cool things he's discovered in this game.
Yeah, my pleasure for sure. So still doing some more backtracking. We're just making our way back to the blast furnace to heat our PAL key. We got to go back up the 2 elevators and warm that sucker up.
That's right. If you got some more donations, now would be a great time.
I very much do. $50 from Long Way Down. Very happy to have GDQ right now. Loving Plywood's MGS run and all the others today. Thank you to the runners and staff going the extra mile this summer.
Yes, people, please be appreciative for the hard work of the GDQ staff because running an online marathon is not easy. It is quite challenging to coordinate all that stuff. So thank you very much for your donation and everyone's time for volunteering.
Got a $30 donation from Zaz, who gives us another haiku. Please do not forget, if your work offers matching, be sure to use it.
want to shout out the variety of camera angles in this game, because I'm not kidding, there's like hundreds of them. If you go lean up against various walls in this game, areas you would not even think, like, why would you put a camera angle there? They put a camera angle there. So even though this is a PlayStation game, it is highly detailed in that regard. As we come up this elevator, I'm hoping that this turret shoots at me. It seems counterintuitive, but that's actually the good RNG, the good luck here, if this turret shoots at me. Which it didn't, so we have a backup. I'm gonna punch once, hug this wall, not get shot. Boom. Gotta be prepared.
Backups are key.
Backups are very key when extreme is involved. Oh, one thing we didn't really mention, I always try to have a weapon equipped whenever possible. That's because you actually move faster with the weapon equipped. That's very key, especially like the tower sequence when you're running past the guards. Being slower, very bad. I mean, you probably already know that since this is this event, but it's bad.
So as Plywood mentioned earlier, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to leave this room, about 1 minute 5 seconds to get out of the room instead, because we're going through the boiler room and into this other room over here to get some Stinger missiles for later. Because there are load transitions, it delays the heating of the PAL card by about 3-ish seconds or so. Plywood being really careful there not to fall in. That's some hot stuff you don't want to fall into.
That's right. And the issue is, you want to be fast, you want to be cool, but look, to be really cool, you don't want to be in there. Let me tell you. And now we just have to wait this out. So if we got some more donations, let her rip.
Absolutely. We've got $50 from Pay Up Pops. Hey SGDQ, Hope and Caleb's dad here. Thanks for reading their donation. Their smiles were huge. And thanks for running these events and all of the amazing work you do to support these causes. This community is incredible and we're grateful for the family-friendly vibe. Time to show 2020 that the speedrunning community still has spirit. Go fast, save the frames, make a difference.
Thank you very much. One thing I want to mention there is that ideally you don't want to check the card, but let me tell you, going all the way down and realizing you did not heat the card, not a good feeling. I've done it many times. Just try to save those few frames.
Yeah, PB attempts, you would do something like that, but in this type of setting, checking the card's not that big of a deal. And when we get on the second elevator, if we get a codec call on the elevator, you know that you heated the card. If you never get that call, well, you left too early.
Feels bad. Once again, checking. It's a good position. You know, you would think that it would be a good idea to use the chaff, but it's better just to check, because the time it takes to throw the chaff and wait, you could have just looked to see if you could go. But of course the chaff does disable the turrets if you weren't comfortable doing that kind of strat. And as we are bathed with the cause of the Ravens, I think it's time for another set of donations if we have them.
Absolutely. $25 from Chief Tig. Hey, Apply. Chief Tig here. Great to see you doing your MG thing. Maybe a future GDQ will see you on the other side of the giant stompy robots.
I know. The big Mecha Steel Battalion. Ooh, it's a thrill. And now for the longest codec call in this entire game. Naomi has a lot of things to tell us. Very important things, I might add, for her life story, but not the life story of this run, let me tell you.
We've got $5 from Failed Uplink, who says Plywood is a fast gamer, or as Ocelot would say, you're pretty good.
Thank you. Oh, fun fact, if you die too many times on Ocelot, he does not say you're pretty good. What does he actually say? Oh, he says, "I'm disappointed. You're no match for the boss."
We've got $25 from Erifram and Jen Elric. Good evening, Plywood. Erifram, Jen Elric, and baby Era Elric here. Good luck on the run. We will try our best to watch the whole thing, but baby Eri feels asleep.
Thank you, Erifram and Jen.
And $20 from Dr. Inkblot, who comes in with notes on haiku. They often speak of nature. Plywood is correct. Lines count 575. Some add 2 more 7 lines. So 575 or 57577. Thanks, SGDQ.
And now you know. And knowledge is everything. Not half the battle, it's everything.
We've got $17 from Kept in Stitches. Metal Gear Solid is the reason my husband bought his first console, the PS2. Great to see this game getting destroyed. Good luck, Plywood.
Thank you. We are now coming in at the very end of the end game, the end game. Because now we need to save the world, put in the last PAL card, and head on home, drink some hot cocoa, live a good life, hang out with the Huskies back in Twin Lakes. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, me and Meryl gonna ride off into the sunset, except there's one problem. We got bamboozled by this whole backtrack sequence. This guy is not who he said he was. I mean, honestly, I didn't know who he was to begin with. I've been so busy with everything else in this run, but apparently him taking off the sunglasses and putting down the hair is a big deal. Okay. We actually need to make a call here to Otacon to open up the door so we can get out. Right here, I'm going to look in first person, and this will help me cue myself for when to press select to answer the call. And now we're going to go confront our brother Liquid.
Do-do-do-do.
Du-du-du-du. He has something important for us to hear.
Liquid! Snake! Did you like my sunglasses?
What do you think?
10.
Did you like it?
5 out of 10. Yeah.
I'll give it a 5.5. I'll give it 5.5. All right, this is a dicey fight, so I'm gonna let Dean Limes explain how this works.
So this is Metal Gear Rex. Big machine. So Plywood's going to be firing Stinger missiles at it. We're going to be leaning to avoid damage. If we lean, then we don't get hit for reasons. 9 Stinger missiles to take out Rex in the first phase of the fight. And then after that, the cockpit will open up and we'll have a second phase of the fight. But first, we have stuff to listen to.
In front of you, I can finally die.
Suddenly, someone's dying. A little bit freaked out right now.
Neither truly alive, nor truly dead.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
In the world of
Can you do it for me, Limes? Can you drive over here? I don't know if I can do this.
Oh, man. I don't know.
All right. I'll try my best.
Okay. So phase 2 of the fight. Again, more Stinger missiles. Lean mechanic there to avoid damage, and then he's going to shift his position so Rex shifts their position. Couple shots, rinse and repeat. Try to avoid taking damage. You want to be closer to Rex, that way he leans down and does the laser attack. You don't want him to fire missiles at you. And that was a pretty clean fight.
Yeah, so the whole thing there is I'm firing, unequipping with R1, holding triangle. By the way, this is the cutscene that we skip with Integral, so thanks, Integral. Hold triangle and then press L1 or R1 to shift our weight, and that moves Snake's hitbox. But it's pretty tight in order to do that, so you have to get a good sense of the rhythm of your button presses. Plus, you got to aim well, so it can be a bit tricky. Shout outs to my boy Jim Hausman. He shows up for literally like 2 seconds of the run. All right, so it's time for the main event, arguably, the liquid fist fight. And I'm going to take off my headphones because that helps.
So liquid. Plywood's going to be going for an infinite combo. It's a very particular rhythm that you want to not mash circle in, but press circle. We're going to be doing a bunch of double punches. He's going to throw liquid once at the start to get him lined up at the top of the platform they're standing on. And then he's just going to start punching in a particular rhythm. In his experience and my experience, it does help if you don't have to listen to the game audio and you can listen to your buttons. So we'll see how he does here. So it looks like he's got a pretty good handle on it. You don't want to go too fast. You don't want to go too slow. If you do lose the infinite, there are some backups to it. And if you fall off, then you instantly fall to your death. So he's going to try to throw him again and try to reset the fight.
What's wrong, Snake? Better hurry. It's going to
Yeah, this fight can be very complex. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I just, unfortunately, having just a little bit of trouble. Yeah, and ducking or going prone when he goes to attack you like that, you won't receive damage. And just unlucky, unfortunate.
I got
part of that could have part of that could have been what we mentioned earlier. PSTV tends to drop inputs on occasion, and it looks like he may have lost the infinite because of that. Who knows? So we're going to try to get this set up again. Looks good so far. And you can do, there's a no throw, there's a one throw, which Plywood just did, and then there's also a two throw setup that's a little more consistent. This looks pretty good. And then when the health bar reaches 0, we have to get him off or knock him off somehow. And that's the fight. So a little unlucky at the start, but we managed.
Extra codec call here since we saved Meryl. Bada bing, bada boom. It's unfortunate what happened there. I've seen that happen before. It doesn't seem like I've lost rhythm, and then he just kind of like clears the iframes. It's kind of strange. But hey, we're out of there. We're escaping with Meryl. She's okay. Trust me, folks. She's okay. And this little strat here is actually really nice. We use a visual cue. Once Meryl crosses the line, I approach this guard, and then I pay attention to when she turns the key, choke this guard out, tap up repeatedly to get in the Jeep, then turn, fire at the barrels just like that. And now we are in the bulk of the escape sequence. We're going to be driving down this long, long road. And I'm setting up my aim right on the corner here to set itself up for a barrel shot coming up. Boom, boom. And then aim just right there, like at the door. And what I'm going to try and do is fire a shot to hit a guard in the middle as the Jeep is turning. Didn't get it. That's okay. Don't be so negative, Meryl.
So on extreme difficulty, each guard takes 7 shots to kill them. So 21 shots in all. Can be a bit tricky there. You can do it without getting shot, but that's very precise and somewhat luck. But not a bad checkpoint there.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad that we dissed his sunglasses.
It's not over yet. Liquid.
So this is the final part of the escape sequence. We have to deal with Liquid Snake again. 30 shots we have to deal. He has an invisible health bar, and it's going to be broken up into a few phases. We'll be going into a tunnel a couple times, and we'll be out in the open here a few times. You have to deal X amount of shots per phase in order for it to progress. If you sit and do nothing, you'll either die or just stay in this escape sequence forever.
Taking that shot there is intentional. It's so we can get a quick shot once he crashes into the Jeep. I'm trying to go for these frame perfect shots. I've gotten a couple of them. When he bumps into you, if you fire a shot just beforehand, you can get a shot just as he bumps, and then he has less travel time to bump you again.
Yeah, and it's very important you don't weave around too much and go left or right like sporadically, because he'll continuously try to dodge your shots, and the fight will just take longer. This tunnel phase can be a little tricky just because of the median, and the hitboxes for these shots they're a little bit out of whack. But it looks like plywood's got pretty good position for these shots. And time will be coming up soon. It'll be on the fade to white. A few more
Just
shots
weaving
here.
my shots here. Try to avoid taking damage. It's okay if you trade at this point. It doesn't really matter. And that's that. We hit daylight and time.
Time.
Folks, that is Metal Gear Solid Any Percent Extreme on console, Merrill ending. I want to thank all of you for coming out and watching this run. I want to thank DLimes13 for helping me with commentary for this run. Of course, shout outs to MG Slade, who ran this category several years ago. One of my inspirations for running this game. Iceman, who unfortunately couldn't show up to commentate, but I really appreciate what he's done for the extreme difficulty in this game. Of course, the whole Metal Gear Speedrunners community. If you want to learn any of these runs, including this one, we got a lot of wonderful tutorials for the games in the series, so you can find that at metalgearspeedrunners.com.
Snake!
And beyond that, if you're interested in watching Metal Gear speedruns from yours truly, you can find me at twitch.tv/plywood_. Thank you all so much for watching and for your wonderful generosity, both in the bid war and throughout the run.
Thanks for having us.
All right, give it up one more time for Plywood. And that excellent run. Some GDQ claps in the chat, please. Got a few more donations for you here. We've got $250 from DJ Crabhat. Happy to donate to one of the best charities for this awesome MGS run. $10 from TJO Lolo. I grew up playing Metal Gear Solid. It probably took me longer than the entire speedrun to even get to the torture scene. Looking forward to the rest of GDQ. And let me give you some more haiku that are leading up to our next game. It's coming up. $15 from Circuit Main. A haiku. A boy and his sword teams up with a girl and Sprite. It's snowing on Mount Fuji. And that was 575. $50 from Kiefer Skunk. An SGDQ haiku. What does defeat mean? Here's some money. Let's see it. Secret of Mana. We've got Secret of Mana coming up. If you want to see our runner beat the final boss with his feet, we are still around $4,000 away from it. So get those donations in. And now let me send you to a quick note from our sponsors. RetroTink LLC is a boutique designer and manufacturer of the popular RetroTink 2X line, doubling upscaler for zero added lag connection of retro consoles to your modern HD TV. Our products enable seamless integration of composite, S-video, component, and RGB video to your current setup in a way that respects and preserves the original experience. Visit our website at www.retrotink.com or Twitter at RetroTink2. SGDQ 2020 Online is also brought to you by NIS America. NIS America Incorporated is a publisher of Japanese video games, publishing action platformers like Mad Rat Dead and Prinny 1-2 Exploded and Reloaded. Mad Rat Dead releases 10/30/20, and Prinny 1 and 2 Exploded and Reloaded releases on October 13th, 2020. Visit their website at http://prinnies.com. That's PRINNIES. Prinnies. And that's actually going to do it for me tonight. Thank you so much for staying with me through these past two games. You guys have been fantastic. I'm going to pass it over to the Kyle Thomas, and he's going to be with you through Secret of Mana. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to be here at Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online. I am the Kyle Thomas. I'm going to be hanging out with y'all for the next few hours. We have got so many donations to go through. I'm going to read a few right now. We've got a haiku from Anonymous donating $30. They say, here's a haiku. Storm rages above. Take shelter in GDQ. Good cause passes time. Thank you so much for that donation. And I think that pretty well written haiku. All right. We got $5 from Rosalie. They say, so glad this was still able to happen this year. Thank you to everyone who made it possible. My husband and I are enjoying watching GDQ every time it's on. Thank you, everyone, for the amazing work you do. Well, thank you, Rosalie, and thank you, everyone giving donations. It's going to such a great cause. We're going to go over and check out a video ad right now. Stick around. SGDQ 2020 online, sponsored by RetroTink. RetroTink LLC is a boutique designer and manufacturer of the popular RetroTink 2X line, doubling upscaler for zero added lag connection of retro consoles to your modern HD TV. Our products enable seamless integration of composite, S-video, component, and RGB video to your current setup in a way that respects and preserves the original experience. Check them out at www.retrotink.com and on Twitter at RetroTink2. SGDQ 2020 Online is also sponsored by NIS America, publisher of Japanese video games, publishing action platformers Mad Rat Dead and Prinny 1 and 2, Exploded and Reloaded. Mad Rat Dead releases October 30th, 2020. Prinny 1, 2, Exploded and Reloaded releases October 13th, 2020. Check them out at prinnies.com. All right, we've got some more donations coming in. We've got Schmango Fett donating $25. They say, here's to another great GDQ. This is the first one that I'm taking off of work to watch, so I'll be glued to my screen the entire week. Schmango, I am too. Thank you for gluing yourself to that TV and for everyone else who's even able to check it out. It means a lot to us. Just a reminder, we've got all kinds of incentives coming up. Make sure you're getting your donations towards those. Coming up in the Secret of Mana run, I know you've heard of one player, two controllers, but have you heard of one player, 2 feet? Donate to get that 2 feet incentive met and watch them beat the end boss using their feet. That's going to be crazy to see. We've got a $100 donation from Troy98. It says, this one's for Ben and all the folks behind the scenes at GDQ. They're celebrating their world first heroic Neophila. Grats Guild and Friend Guild. Grats Guild, best guild. Congratulations on downing them. And thanks for that donation. On the topic of getting things unlocked, we've got Bale with $50 that says, let's get that Ori run unlocked. Shout outs to everyone in front of and behind the scenes making this happen. That's right, we do have a bonus game. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you donate to get more GDQ. That's what we all want. All right, and we're going to send you over to the daily recap with Spike, Keys, and Hobbs. Take it away.
I want to encourage everybody out there as well.
All right, well, they're working that out. I've got plenty of donations to read. You all are being so generous, and we really appreciate it. We've got D-Let with $30 say, gotta see this defeating the final boss. Yeah, I gotta see it too. I haven't had a chance to see it. I am hype. I want you all to get hype for it too. We got more coming in for the defeating. Arunian with $30. Let's make sure the final boss in Secret of Mana gets defeated. You know, I'm not going to get sick of these feet puns. So if you got them, donate with them. Let's read all the... We got about 3 hours to read foot puns. Make sure you're getting those in. Got a $100 anonymous donation. This is going to be a good SGDQ. Hype. With a very bold period right after that hype, making sure everyone knows that the hype is here. All right, we got $50 from Pinecone, donating for Ori, my favorite game to come out in the first half of this year. Save the frames and save the people. All right, we got those technical issues worked out. We're going to send it right back over to Spike, Keys, and Hobbs.
All right, welcome back, this time for real. We were testing you the first time. I hope that you all passed.
Good job, Chad.
My name is Jay Hobbs. We have Keyzeron and Spike Vegeta, my qualified panelists for tonight.
Heck yeah.
Very, very qualified.
The people closest to him, guys, getting the call, getting the call.
Yeah, we wanted to try something new this event because SGQ 2020 Online is very new for us in a lot of ways. We thought it'd be a fun way to try out a new little experiment. So what this is this is the daily recap. Every day at kind of near the end of the day, for the Eastern time zone at least, we're going to be going through what we found to be some of the most exciting moments from the day, from various games, and just kind of talking about runs we enjoyed, stuff maybe you missed that you should go back and check out again. It hopefully is going to be a lot of fun, and please let us know on social media and in chat and stuff if you're liking it, or if you just want us to stop talking and get back to the speedruns. I don't know.
It's probably going to be that second one.
Right, of course.
But we're going to do it anyways. It'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to encourage, if you are a subscriber in chat, by the way, we're going to be showing some clips during this segment. And I want to encourage all of you out there, we have a new GDQ Wings emote. If you want to like spam that emote during the clips that you think were like the highest flying moment of the day, then go for it. Like, now is your time to do that. I am encouraging you to spam. That's right. We will have that happen. So
Chat's like, this is my kind of guy. All right, I like this.
My time has come.
So yeah, day one. How are we feeling, gentlemen? What were we feeling after day one? A good set of speedruns so far.
Yeah.
I think Spike should like step in because he was actually part of the commentary team for one of the runs today.
No, I always love day one of GDQs because it's always such a fun kind of melting pot of different types of genres and speedruns. There's not really like you're locked in, oh, today's like the Sonic block, or we're going to get a lot of Mario today or something. It's really cool. We saw some runs that obviously I'm very passionate about. It was great to see Rayman Legends. Demon Souls was really, really fun. Shovel Knight was cool. Got surprised by games like Eco. I've never even seen that game before, and my God, y'all are gonna see a clip we got coming up for you here pretty soon. I thought that game was gonna be chill. It was not chill whatsoever. It was great. So it's been a great first day.
Keys, how about you?
And like, I gotta emphasize that eco bit a little bit because that was, from what I saw, it was like very frantic and very all over the place in a good way. It wasn't at all what I was expecting. I pretty much had the same exact mindset as Spike in the sense of, oh, this will probably be like a really chill run, like, you know, get to watch it, get to relax, have some background noise, and then zoop whoop,
zoop whoop, flying around. All right, well, let's cut the preamble. Let's get into this. We have some clips that we gathered from some of the moments that we found to be pretty exciting throughout the day, and some stuff that maybe has been posted on social media as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask that tech just kind of cut over to our first clip here as I hit our play button. We have Demon Souls, which was the opener of the marathon, and this skip is just like incredible. I actually just barely happened to catch this one live while I was dealing with a bunch of other preparation stuff. And look at that, just dropping down like 3 flights. I mean, Spike, you've been playing this game recently. Why is this like so impressive?
Played through. This is like a dungeon type area that you're in. I was lost here for like 2 hours. He just skipped over the entirety of the level, and I love the creativity of the movement. You know, you think you're gonna watch a Speed Souls game, and like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of like, oh, how are we gonna fight the bosses and everything. I love how creative they get with the few movement options they have. The barely getting on the seam, the back step into the immediate roll to get down there. I absolutely love this skip right here. Very cool.
Yeah, I think anyone who has played any FromSoft game knows just how difficult that is. I'm just going to roll it right along into our next one here because we had a game. Spike, you had the personal, involvement
just turn on
in this
the
one.
audio. I was commentating this one. We were talking about.
Yeah, Rayman Legends. But Keys, like, as someone who's maybe a little less familiar with Rayman Legends, what is happening right here, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. I saw a lot of this is really smooth looking. This is one of the runs I didn't get a chance to watch. I mean, I hear Spike's voice all the time, so why would I need to listen and talk? You know what I mean? But no,
Sorry.
no, just kidding. But no, this is really clean and smooth looking movement, and this is the kind of clip that you would actually show someone to encourage them to pick up the game to play. That's how clean and amazing this looks.
And this is something where normally you're kind of like running all the way down this kind of, not slowly, but definitely not nearly as fast as just falling straight down. So the like just creative, I always love creativity in speedruns, where someone thinks of something that's, you go back and look at it and you're like, oh, that's so obvious. I should have thought of that, And I think it's always great when those kinds of moments pop out.
You know what it actually kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of watching YouTube play DKC with Funky Kong.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like this kind of reminds me of like how bombastic the movement looks, but how clean in general it ends up becoming.
Absolutely. I would definitely put them in the same vein. And if we want to jump to the next one, this is a good one. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to love Rayman Legends. Demon Souls is going to be cool. We talked about it earlier. I thought Eco was going to be chill. Keys, what's happening here?
Physics, what are they? Eco doesn't know, and man, like they're just. I said zoop whoop, and there you go, zoop whoop. Like that's the best way to say it as PG as I possibly can, folks. It's a crazy trick. As you can see, physics, like I said, they mean nothing in this game. You just kind of go and, I mean, well, now they're just playing with fire, but like.
Yeah,
you can't ignore the jump. That is hops for days.
Yeah. Like you both said, I always heard Eco as like a nice chill game. This was one that I think a lot of people probably slept on. This is one you got to go back and see after watching a clip like this, right? Like what?
I will admit publicly that I slept on this. now I realize I shouldn't have. Never sleep. Yeah. Never sleep.
I'm letting it loop around one more time because I just got to see this. We're calling it
up
the swoop whoop.
The swoop whoop.
The swoop whoop.
Swoop whoop. Riot. God, it was so good.
That was great. All right, let's go in. We got one more clip for you all from today. We got a little bit of a shorter day, start around midday. We got one more clip for you here from the final game that we picked out, which is Shovel Knight King of Cards. And I mean, this one, it kind of speaks for itself, I think, because there he goes. He's off the screen. He's just
What's going on? Is he gonna finish? I wonder.
Right. This is not. Sometimes when we watch speedruns, we are seeing someone go off screen because they did some like really big glitch or something and they've been warped to the end. This is actually just David here is moving off screen, platforming through the rest of the stage effectively without being able to see anything. And he wraps it up with just easy every time.
Oh, he was so chill during the entire run. He was like, yep, that was pretty good. Moo, one of my favorite people in the communities, freaking out over there, his foil. And he's just like, yep, that's easy every time. Reminder, we had some amazing speed runs today. This run of Shovel Knight was 7 seconds off his world record.
Wow.
Rayman Legends, up until a few deaths right at the end, he ended up Depressing Child PB'd in Rayman Legends. He's second on the leaderboard. He almost got world record if it wasn't for a couple deaths. Absolutely amazing quality of runs all day that we've had here.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the clips. That's all we got for you today. We can go back. We got our lovely faces back here and everything because like like you said, it was just so cool to see so many exciting moments on day one. We still have many more days of SGDQ yet to come. And now I think the only kind of fitting way to wrap this up to end this is to ask each of you, and I'll participate myself because, you know, I am also a qualified panelist, of course.
Qualified TM.
Yeah, big old trademark on that one. I want to ask each of you, what did you think was the, you know, highest energy moment out of the clips that we saw here today? Or maybe if you got, you know, something that you want to toss out there that we didn't even get to look at here. Feel free, but I know mine's in these clips. Let's start with Keys.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I was actually hoping to go last.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay, I've said it multiple times. I know Rayman Legends. I know Soul stuff. When I saw Eco on the schedule in the middle of the day, I was like, this can't be chill at 4 in the afternoon. It's got to bring some hype. I'm going with the Eco stuff. That was not just that clip. That was all run. Absolutely going with Eco as my high flying moment.
Okay, all right. I'll go next. For a while, I'm sitting here between two choices. I was between Shovel Knight, the Shovel Knight blind movement because it was so impressive. But in the end, I think I got to give it up to Demon Souls because I think if you have ever played a single Souls game, you understand just how awkward it can be to try to move your character in a precise manner. And to see drops like that where you took basically no damage and had to deal with lots of precision in it's not a janky movement system, but it's not the most refined for precise movements. And so that just blew my mind how impressive that was. Honestly, if it doesn't look impressive, go play a Souls game because it will immediately.
You'll be like, my God, why? I can't fall off a platform. God.
I think my choice was obvious at first, especially to Hobbs, because we had actually just recently done Shovel Knight King of Cards, and we had seen that movement, not live in a marathon setting yet, but we had seen that movement in one of the PB videos that we watched, and I wouldn't shut up about it. I was so impressed. I was so amazed. But I'm actually going to pull a little bit of a shoop whoop over here, and I got to go with Eco. That is a literal high-flying moment. You fly way up, and that woke me up to the game. So I think because of how impactful that was to me, I'm going to have to go with Eco.
That's pretty fair. I totally understand that. And you know what? I'm seeing a lot of people out in chat that are shouting out Dusk. Maybe that's one I got to go back and check out. I'm not going to lie. I didn't get to catch that one. So we'll have to do our own little research. But once again, we're going to be doing this every day. And since we had a little bit of a shorter day here today, let's look forward. Let's look ahead to what we got tomorrow before we get out of here, get out of everybody's hair, and we get back to these awesome speedruns. Spike, what are you looking forward to coming up still in the marathon?
Yeah, let's talk about specifically just the next 24 hours as we do each of these days. And I'm actually going to talk about the run we got coming up right now, the defeating of a final boss in Secret of Mana. And the reason I want to bring it up, this game always has looked like a very, very cool speedrun. I think we've always seen it in major marathons pretty much as one player, two controllers. And the fact that this is the first time I can ever think of it in a schedule, one player, one controller all of a sudden. And it has that same vibe to me as almost like a one-handed challenge run you're doing because you're so much more limited on what you can do. You're so much less overpowered because you have access to only one instead of two controllers. Watching the player have to overcome that watching him have to overcome that with just having to utilize all these other options, definitely looking forward to it. And whatever the heck defeating the final boss is going to end up being. Looking forward to Secret of Mana. What about you guys?
All right, Keys, you go ahead. I'm saving mine for last this time.
Well, we already know what you're going to pick, please. Well, I've had a little bit of an epiphany, right? And I actually have to, I'm going to shout out one singular person here because she tried to coach me as much as possible when we did Hollow Knight as our first step segment without trying to spoil it and, ruin the race for the both of us. I gave Hollow Knight a bunch of grief about the mapping system, but I didn't realize just how much the game as a whole I actually truly enjoyed, especially in a speedrun setting. So I am absolutely most forward looking to the Hollow Knight race. I can't wait to watch it. You have two top runners going at it, and it's going to be a ton of fun to watch. And I definitely recommend checking it out tomorrow.
Okay, well, I gotta give big shout outs to Ori and the Will-O-Wisps. Of course, it's a bonus game. You know I'm a big Ori fan. I helped commentate Ori runs in the past at GDQ. I love it. But that is said, all of you are going to make that bonus incentive happen. I know you will. We're already we're such a great step towards that one already, that I'll go ahead and point out another two. I like the Portal block coming up, man, because we have tomorrow Portal and Portal 2 are both being run, and specifically I actually used to run Portal 2 co-op, and I still say that is one of my most fun speedruns I have ever done. And so getting to watch all the main stages by people who are just fantastic teammates in Portal 2 is going to be a blast. We did it. That's our daily recap for the day, everybody. That's our first one of these.
We got the easy shift. We only had to recap like 8 video games. But again, we're going to be trying to do one of these every night throughout the marathon. So look forward to them as we get excited for stuff like Secret of Mana and other stuff coming up down the pipe.
Yeah, we're going
to sneak one more thing in because Hobbs cheated and got a second game in.
Go for it.
Stay up late, watch Chicken of the Farm.
All right. Don't forget, not Chicken of the Sea, Chicken of the Farm.
Chicken of the Farm.
Yeah, that's going to pretty much do it here for us, folks. But like we said, we're going to do one of these every day, and it's going to be totally mixed up group of people each day. So it should be a lot of fun, get a lot of voices out here to talk about our favorite games of each day and our favorite moments. And hopefully you all can contribute as well in chat and on social media. That's all from us. I'm going to stop talking now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, you fine people. I got some updates for you. You all have been so wonderful. Chat, viewers, everybody, we are all the way up to $5,300 towards defeating the final boss at that end of Secret of Mana. We're looking for 8,000, so get those donations in while you can. Get them in. And also, another update for that bonus game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We're at 17K out of 35,000. Get some donations in for that. Let's extend Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online as long as we can. Got some donations for you. 8-Bit Theologians coming in with $30, donating for that bonus run because more GDQ is always a good thing. That's what I'm saying. 8-Bit Theologian gets it. You all get it. We all get it. Got another one here from Harlan Sinclair for $25. Studying 8 hours a day for the bar exam. Getting burnt out after months of study. SGDQ is just what I needed to cheer me up. Good luck to all the runners. Hey, and good luck to you on that bar exam, Harlan. Thank you so much for your donation. Just a little reminder what you're donating to. We're supporting Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world. A big part of MSF's current operations is providing humanitarian aid to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time ever, MSF has recently started working in the U.S. In New York City, MSF partnered with local organizations to improve infection prevention and control measures and open temporary relief stations, offering free showers and toiletries and information on additional services. MSF staff are assisting with contact tracing and the development and dissemination of health promotion materials. It is a wonderful cause, and no matter what you can give, everything you give goes right to them. So thank you all so much. Well, these donations are just flooding in. I've got one here from Hotaro Hinu. Glad to see Secret of Mana on the marathon this year. This is a game I obsessed with as a kid, but I always took the slow route. Can't wait to see how to really destroy this game. And Crow is gonna do it. He is gonna destroy it, and if you all want to see it, he'll finish it off with his feet. That's gonna be something to see. I've got a $500 donation from David Pittman. David says, thanks to all the runners, hosts, and staff behind the scenes for bringing some joy to us this summer and supporting a great cause in Doctors Without Borders. David, thank you so much for that donation. We really appreciate it. Got a $15 donation from SCXCR. Crow, this is your moment, your time. You need to put your foot down and show the Mana Beast who's boss. There's those foot puns coming in. Bring them in. I want them. I want to read them. I want to groan. I want emotes in the chat. I want it. We've got Shiva Collar with 50 bucks. Had to donate for my favorite game of all time and still my favorite couch co-op. My dad, sister, and I played this game together, and I have very special memories of it. Also, I got to see that feat defeat. Good luck on the run. Thank you so much, Shiva. We appreciate it. We are rolling in on donations. We've got $250 from I'm Phlegm. They say, right now, the world and Twitch need something like this. Thanks. So glad that we can bring a little light into the world. What a great thing to do. Hope you all are having a wonderful time out there. Just want to let you know one of the sponsors for Summer Games Done Quick 2020 Online, powered by Twitch, is Cash App. Cash App. We do not sell cashew apples. We like the color green. We do money stuff. We used to bunny hop in CS 1.3. Download Cash App in the App Store or Google Play Store and use referral code TwitchTV for $10. Thank you, Cash App, for hanging out with us. Let's check out some of the bids we've got coming up. We're up to 5,500 towards that 8,000 defeat the final boss. We do have some bid wars for Secret of Mana, any percent one player, one controller. You've got a chance to bid between the nicknames for Prim, Randy, and Popoy. So if you get in there and you see a name you like, or you want to try to get your own name for one of those three characters, get that donation in now while you can. And make sure you're donating to get those prizes. Cent dropping in from time to time, showing you all the great stuff you can win just for donating like you're going to do anyway. Get up, get those donations in, find the prizes you want to donate to, find the incentives. Let's make it happen. All right, we got another donation here from Baron San for $50. They say, I played Secret of Mana with my brother, young Maximilian, to teach him about the games that those of us in our 30s grew up with. Good luck to the runner Crow, and I look forward to this run. I hope this donation helps